Good morning, YouTube. Handy Andy here. How you doing? We're just loading up the family. It's about 5:30 in the morning here in Minnesota. Below zero outside, and we're heading to the Florida Keys. So this is going to be a long road trip miles per gallon report for my 2021 Ford F150 Powerstroke Diesel 3.0 crew cab, four-wheel drive with the Lear topper on it. And got about 5,000 miles on this truck. I really love it. And so we're gonna see what kind of mileage it does on the road. On this trip, it'll be more than 5,000 miles, I think. And we'll see how it does. Let's start it up and get on the road. All right, everybody, I've decided not to make you wait till the end of the video to give you all the important information. So I'm going to share the average miles per gallon of our trip and how the truck did on each tank right now. And then if that's all you want, if that's all you came to this video for, then you have your information. I'm going to share some other things throughout the video. At the end, I'll share some things I really love and a few things I really don't like about the truck, especially after having it on the road trip with my family. But here's the miles per gallon information, and I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. So you can see we had 8 tanks of fuel. We went a total of 4,204 miles, 0.4, 4,204.4, total gallons of 187.425, for an average MPG for the entire trip of 22.43. Our best tank was 25.46, that was on number 3, and our worst tank was 20.52 on number 7. Now, we encountered horrendous headwinds and crosswinds on this trip, and I know the truck could have done much better. You can see it can get over 25 miles per gallon. I'm sure it can get close to 30. So the wind was a factor, and our driving speeds were a factor. So speed limits where we were anywhere usually from 70 to 75. And that means we were driving 75 and 80 miles per hour for most of the trip. We did also encounter an ice storm, about 250 miles of four-wheel drive use. So I'd say we're very happy with how the truck did. So as you can see there, we had 1, 2, 3 tanks of 23 miles per gallon or more, which I think is just excellent for this size of a vehicle. It gets better mileage than I had an S10 with a 4-cylinder and a 5-speed a few years ago. This F150 gets better mileage than that. It gets better mileage than the V6 cars I drove back in the 90s and early 2000s. It's amazing for what it is. And so my truck is a 4-wheel drive crew cab. It's got a topper on it. It was full. We had the whole family in there, and it has a 331 rear end, which I think really helps it get better mileage too. So there's the information. That's how we did on the trip. If you want to watch the rest, go ahead. Otherwise, you have what you came for. If you're going to end now, thanks for watching. Otherwise, we'll see you at the end. All right, checking in. We're here somewhere in Illinois. We've driven that tank 498.2 miles. It says we're making 22.5 MPGs. That's sometimes a little bit optimistic. So we've been bucking a headwind and a quartering kind of crosswind from the southeast, east all day. And I think that's affecting it a little bit. But we've been cruising along at 75 with a loaded down truck. So I think I'm pretty happy if we get somewhere around 21, 22. Hoping for better if we get out of the wind a little bit. But there's our first report. Good morning, everybody. It's about 7 a.m. We're here in Paducah, Kentucky. Beautiful neighborhood. We stayed in an Airbnb last night and got here about 6:30 last evening after driving through about 250 miles of snow. So the first tank we got 21.72 MPGs. I put it in the fuelie. We'll average all those out when we're done. But don't know about this one. This one has about 250 miles of four-wheel drive, and so we'll see. Maybe about the same, maybe a little less. Still kind of bucking that. Today it seems calm, but yesterday there was that wind. So we're gonna start her up and get loaded up and get going this morning.
Strain developed by gastroenterologists.
Nashville traffic. Been sitting here for a while. Nav warned us, but it's all good.
The pirates, but I think they're gonna build a new bridge and then they're gonna get away.
How we doing, girls?
No.
Doing good back there?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
Pretty comfortable with your tablets, eh?
Yeah.
Good ride?
Yeah.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, but
You're watching Moana?
No, she wants Moana.
Oh, you want Moana.
She's watching Puppy Movie.
Oh. How's your drive?
Good. If we could get through this traffic, it'd be better.
Come on, Nashville. Clear up. Fill up number 2 here somewhere in Tennessee. Looks like we're got 3.79 per gallon. I'm not sure at what point, at some point, I think at some point we'll stop getting winterized diesel and we might do a little bit better. Over 500 miles on this tank. We'll calculate it a little later. Get back to you.
In Florida, there's a sign right here.
Everybody, we're pretty excited because look at where we made it. We're here! There's palm trees. So we're just leaving Georgia and entering Florida. We've got 86 more miles to go, staying at Gainesville tonight. So information on the last fill up, it was 21.3, not too great, but that was with about, like I said, a lot of snow and ice, about 250 miles in four-wheel drive, so, and some headwinds still. But since the last fill up, we've driven now, as you can see, 405 miles, and according to the computer, our average is 27.9. Now, hand calculated, that'll probably only be 26, 27, but looks like we're gonna get over 25, 26 on this tank. So that's pretty good with more favorable conditions. 81 degrees. I think we finally have some diesel that's either not winterized or not very winterized, and so that all makes a big difference. So so doing well on this tank. We'll report what the actual calculated number is, but that's with driving 75 miles an hour. When I'm driving, Alyssa's been going 80. Don't tell anybody. Everybody, it's our last day. We're in Missouri right now. We left Memphis this morning. We'll get back to Minnesota tonight around 9 o'clock. And we just can't catch a break with the wind, driving into a stiff north wind. Again, today, high speed limit, so speed limit here is 75, we're going 80, so I don't think it's going to be a high mileage day, but truck's still doing well. You can see I have the boost gauge up there, so we're running half to 3/4 boost, which usually is an indication we're not going to get great mileage, but I'm still expecting low 20s, maybe 19, so it's doing great. Check back later. Checking back in. We're about 20 miles from home. It's close to 9:30 at night. and we're all pretty tired. We're gonna make one more fill up, and so this will be my last check-in before the wrap up. All right, well, you made it to the end of the video. So mostly I love this truck. For this, it's comfortable. There's so much room inside. The seats are comfortable. I love the cloth seats. We got the cloth seats in the XLT trim. That's one of the main reasons I wanted the XLT trim. I'm not a big fan of leather seats. So I love the seats. I love the comfort. The truck rides really well. It's maybe a little bit too soft for my liking. It tends to float once in a while over sort of not sharp bumps, but over kind of more rocking. There can be a rocking motion on the road. So I may switch to some Bilsteins at some point to stiffen it up just a little bit, but overall it's the most comfortable vehicle we've ever taken across the country. One thing I really don't like about the truck is the climate control. I find it to be very unsteady. I like automatic climate control. I try to get that in most of my vehicles. I like to be able to set it at 68 or 72 and just leave it. But the F-150, it tends to, when it's warming up and it's cold outside, it tends to overheat the cab, and then after 10 minutes it gets cold, so you got to kind of fiddle with things. There also doesn't seem to be a ton of airflow. If it's really cold outside and you have it on auto, it'll steam up the windows. You have to put it on max defrost to take care of that. So I've had much better climate control in a lot of other vehicles, so I'm disappointed in that. That's probably my main disappointment with the F-150. Otherwise, I love it. I think I'll have it a long time. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll be posting other videos in the future. Thanks, everybody.